All right. Yeah, there we go. It's been a while since I busted out the old camera. I'm talking straight out of the 2000 and something. So I'm doing the in-camera old school mic. So if the audio sucks, sorry. I, people sometimes I'll put like a newer fancy microphone, like the wireless one, into this. And then there's like a weird disconnect because obviously the video style is super, straight out of the 2000s. But then the audio is like crisp, freaking, crystal clear. So I think this would be cool. But either way, today's going to be a morning lift. So I think this is a groove I want to get into. Because honestly, it's not like I'm going to feel like I'm full of carbs fueled up later in the day anyway. So if I'm already not going to be full of carbs, I'd almost rather hit a lift before I eat a bunch of food. For one, just because you look cooler when you pose down with like a flatter stomach. But also it's like I almost want to make use of my earlier energy in the day and then use the rest of the day to just, make sure I don't cheat on my overall calorie intake. But that's actually kind of different for me. Normally I'm the kind of guy to have said workouts, like I used to think like I don't want to lift before 8 o'clock at night because I'm going to eat a ton of food all day before then so that I'm like actually full of carbs and, like legit fueled and carbed up and, ready to go totally freaking nuts. But dieting changes things a little bit. So I guess two things change when I'm dieting. For one, I add in some morning workouts and and I kind of chill out on the overall kind of intensity. Like I'm just not lifting so heavy, and it's not just for no reason. I just don't want to hurt myself. So I'm going to keep those two things in mind today. So even though it's chest, and chest kind of, you want to go crazy heavy on chest. Chest is just freaking sweet to go nuts on. I'll make sure I don't tweak it. I think that's the last thing that I freaking want. And not only tweak, but retweak, which is even worse. Because if you hurt yourself once, what are you going to do? That's life. But if you hurt yourself in the same spot again, because you're putting yourself in that same position of vulnerability over and over and over again, well, then you're not even learning from your mistakes. You're just freaking repeating the same shit, and that's just not cool. So we'll see. But yeah, overall plan, I don't know if I'm going to lean more light squeezing or maybe leverage a couple heavier sets. I guess I'll just kind of have to see once I get in there and get started, because I can come in here thinking I want to, do 315 on an incline Smith and, 150 pound dumbbell bench or whatever. But I won't really know until I warm up, grab the cables, get my rotator cuffs going, start feeling everything. And then, be able to say objectively, either I'm ready to throw some crazy shit around right now, or I better just do a lighter squeezing day, So I don't really manually plan it in like my program, but I do go back and forth, especially if I'm really either dieting or like pushing weight in an off season, where, if I really went extra heavy for like a week, it's probably a good idea to take the next couple days of the training split and maybe back off, do some more light squeezing stuff. And it all kind of comes back down to like not making sure that your routine is totally perfect, but just hitting everything from all angles. So if I'm doing chest, I'm going to do a press, I'm going to do a fly, I'm going to do a squeeze, I'm going to do a something or other. I'm going to make sure I hit it from all angles. So I think I think we might give ourselves too much credit for trying to plan a workout absolutely perfectly to stimulate it to, like, dude, just do a couple different kinds of sets, make sure they feel good, execute them well, get your mind into the muscle, really squeeze it. And dude, if you're pumped and you're eating your food right, you're good, So it's kind of like a two sides of the same coin. Like for one, you should put a ton of effort and energy into thought into your training. And then on the other side, don't go overboard, don't overthink it. Just, make your shit happen and enjoy the process. So I know it's kind of weird to like think those two things at once, But I really do think it's true. So, it's, I do not mind the sunniness right now because I'm actually getting some warmth. But it's going to start getting, I mean, it was pretty gloomy the last couple of days. But this is kind of cool. We're past well, I wouldn't say totally past, but the pretty stage of fall seems to have already happened. And then in Ohio, at least, or probably any kind of states neighboring, it takes a little while to go from fall to actually snow sticking on the ground. So we're going to be in a little bit of this skeleton phase where all the trees will, have lost their leaves and, there's no snow yet to kind of cover it up. But, there's much. So I think nothing else to say. I got Blue in the back, so he's going to be the training partner for today. He's more of, not exactly a functional training partner, but he definitely adds to the overall energy. So how about we just stop talking about it and go make it happen? All right, half heavy, half squeezing chest press here. If this was like 200 pounds, that would be pretty heavy, but 150 is a little more like right about there. So this might even be like a 20 rep set, but I want the beginning to be pretty squeeze, hold, burn focused, and then, turn into partial reps as the set goes on. Puh. 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 Yeah, one more. And then I think a fly might be good. Normally I go, if I start with squeezing, pressing, immediately to a heavy press. So I think changing it up today will be good. Oh, shit. This will be good. So, the stack is just about right. It's not like the heaviest stack ever, but it's good. And after 3 of those sets, I don't really have to go more than the stack. So, same logic. I'm gonna squeeze and hold in the beginning, break it down to partials, try not to leave anything in the tank. Oh my gosh. All right. All right, I feel kind of bad putting the freaking phone on the
old fancy camera. I should have charged the battery. It says it has 270 minutes, but I mean, I didn't charge it for a while, so I guess I kind of asked for it. But quicker day, not the wildest lift in terms of overall like volume and like even heft too, but I think the result is rather freaking apparent, that's for sure. So yeah, let's see what we're looking like. Oh my goodness. Let's see it from the other angle. All right, should be pretty similar, but just a little more shadowy coming in from this side. Oh man, all right. Well, that's solid. I'll make sure to charge the freaking battery. I'm gonna go sit the cardio bike. And then, I guess, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.